Here at Season of Our Joy, we have many ways to worship our Creator. We have music and dance and singing, and we also have available to us flags. We have a space specially set aside to use flags during the worship time, and we encourage people to come and join with us and do that. There's one song where we use lulavim to worship our Creator, and we use the 4 species as our instrument to worship. And we would ask that you use those 4 species and not flags during that time. This video we are putting together is to give you some ideas and pointers of how to enter into flag worship as Season of Our Joy in a safe and a blessed way for both you and the people around you. The first thing about is respect. Flags are not a toy. They are an instrument of worship, and in that manner there is some respect that we need to give those instruments, just as the musicians are very respectful of their instrument so that it plays well. We have a large responsibility when we are doing worship into that we take care of ourselves, but we also take care of the people around you. So if you bring flags to the feast, be careful in how you take care of them laying on the ground so that other people trip over them or are taken away. Another thing is, if you didn't bring flags to the feast, we will often have flags available, or other people will let you borrow them. But please, before you borrow them, make sure that you afford every respectful intention towards that person before you use them, and you want to return them in the same way that you took them. As children, they can use flags, and that is encouraged, but we encourage you as the parent to accompany your child to that space where the flagging is done. Stay with them while they are using the flag. Make sure their flag gets returned to where it needs to go, and then bring your child back to your seating area. These are all just ways that we can respect the people around us and the tools that we are using as we worship our King. Next, I'm going to talk about responsibility. With any honor, there does come responsibility to walk that out. And when you have a flag, of course you're responsible for that flag, but you're also responsible for the things and the people around you. And if you are overly exuberant, you may injure or break or hit people or things around you. So when you have a flag, it is your responsibility to make sure that does not happen. Just as when you're driving a car and the person in front of you brakes really hard, and if you hit them, it's your fault. Same with people. If they're walking into your space or someone isn't paying attention, it's your responsibility to not hit them. That also goes along with the idea of using your flag as a weapon of war, which has happened in the past, and we encourage you to not do that. And if your children engage in that sort of activity, to gently remind them that this is a piece of instrument of worship. It is something that is to be used for a higher calling, not as or a plaything. And of course, I know you understand that and you would be careful with. It's just a small reminder. Also, it is your responsibility to think about your space that you are in. If you know going into the flag area that there's a lot of other people there, perhaps the size flag you choose to use or borrow, make sure it fits in that space where you can have a smaller flag or do a different kind of motion. That's your responsibility. Those can be safe along with the people around you. And along with the choosing of the flag, you might want to take into consideration your ability to move that flag. Now, some of us raise our hands in worship and they stay up there a little bit and they kind of get tired, and so you can put them down and then you put them back up. With a flag, you are constantly moving that piece of material in that stick, and the larger the flag, the heavier it to be. So take into account your own comfort and ability when you a flag. Often if a get tired, you aren't able to keep it up and keep it safe above other people or around other people. Also, your enjoyment while you are doing the flags will be impaired if you are physically feeling tired or your arms hurt. And we do not want you to be hurt at all during the feast. trying to worship our Heavenly Father. Another aspect that goes with responsibility, we talk about the flagging area specifically itself. There may be a lot of people wanting to using that flag area, and it may not be able to accommodate everybody at the same time. So we may have a sign-up sheet. You may need to wait outside that flagging area for your turn to go to it. And we encourage, if you're going to be flagging, to be responsible to be where you need to be on time, to have gotten your flag or borrowed your flag when you're supposed to be there. And that will make the whole experience run a little bit more smoothly. You'll be able to be involved, and it won't be chaotic or stressful for people who are wanting to come in or leave. Also, while you are in that flagging area and you're actively worshiping, we ask that you worship, that you are there for the purpose of worship. It's not a space to hang out with your friends and kind of chat in the corner while you're watching the dancers and watching everybody, and then once in a while wave your flag. This is a space where you are there to worship your Creator with the flags and with your heart and your soul. And if you are doing that, you may impede another person's ability to worship, as you would be interrupted or distracted by another person doing that while you are worshiping. Of course, while you're in that circle, you will need to be respectful of the people around you, but we ask that you, when you use a flag, that you use it for the song and use it for the entire song. And what I mean by this is, if you go in and you want to do a song and the song gets a little long and your flag is a little big, instead of, oh man, I don't want this flag, and you go put it down and you go run around and try to find a different flag, which is very distracting, we ask that you amend the way you are using that flag so that you can finish that song and then go get another flag. What that does is it doesn't interrupt that idea of worship, and it also allows you to learn to do different motions. And so if you get very tired with it up over your head, you can maybe do it lower, or you can just simply stand at attention with your flag. That is perfectly fine as well. But if you're trying to trade flags with somebody, or you're hitting somebody and, hey, can I take that flag? Or those are all different ways that you can distract the people, the dancers, the worship leaders up on stage, things like that around you. And also realize that while we are here to worship our Heavenly Father, the flags are an extremely visual prop that is being used. And just like if somebody up on the stage was playing the guitar and did something, everybody would notice that. You are going to be noticed with your large flag. And if you are standing there going, oh, this is so boring, I don't like this song, those are ways that you can totally destroy another person's worship experience. And that brings other people down, as well as it doesn't really display His light in you as you are worshiping. So if you decide you don't want to do a song, that is perfectly fine and acceptable to leave the floor where you're at and come back at a later time or at another day. We just want to have everyone experience the ability to worship our Heavenly Father using this wonderful instrument. And the more that you think about the others around you, the more you think about how we worship our Heavenly Father, the purpose for the reason why you are doing the worship, those will all play into you being a light and being a blessing to the people around you, and be a blessing to the people who are going to be watching you, so that you lift up their worship experience instead of distract them or give a bad feeling or a flavor. So as we are lights with our flags, as we are that standard that goes out before the armies, we have a responsibility to lift up our Heavenly Father as His banner flies over us, as His covering flies over us. We can be a banner and a covering over the people that are dancing with us, the people that are worshiping with us, and we can bring that sense of joy and passion to our worship experience, and hopefully be a blessing and bring glory and honor to our Heavenly Father. All right, now that we've talked about some of the ideas of how to be a blessing to the people around you, I'm going to show you some different and ways to use those flags and how to be big, how to be small, what happens when you get tired, those kind of ideas to help you both at Season of Our Joy and if you're watching this for your home use, how to take this home and implement flags into your worship in your different services or at home as you're worshiping with music alone with your Heavenly Father. I'm going to start with this flag. This is just a half circle. It does have a spinny tube inside of it, so you're not worried about it wrapping up on you. And this just makes a really nice flippy flag to go around. It's very easy to use, very child friendly. And the way you can do it is you can just do those over your head. You can do a figure 8 that doesn't take up much space. If you need to go up with your flag so you're not hitting anyone in front of you, a figure 8 goes here. And now at Season of Our Joy, we're blessed with very high ceilings. So you can always go up, but you may not always be able to go out. As you can see, the flag stretches quite a distance out from your body. And that's something you need to be mindful of, that that person may seem like a long way away, but when you get a flag on the end of your hand, they all of a sudden become very close. So this is just a real pretty flag to use, a good lighter flag. So if you're doing this and we're doing a medley that's 5 minutes long and your arm gets tired, change hands. That is perfectly fine. You can just wave it back and forth. You can put up both hands and wave back and forth. You can just sort of flip it back. Your figure 8s down your side. These are all ways to use this flag. And if you get very tired and you're, oh man, I just can't do it, the closer you bring your hands into your body, the less weight the flag will have. So you can stand and wave your flag just like this, and that is perfectly fine. Or you can stand at attention and hold your flag up and just let it hang. And that is also a very beautiful picture of a flag while you're resting your body. And while you're dancing with the flag, you don't have to continually move all the time. While we're asking you not to trade flags or set it down, you can simply just stop and hold it for a little while and then go back into waving it when you are able to do so and you have the strength. So this is just a nice half circle with that rolling tube, and these are good, very good beginner type flags to use. This is a very simple streamer flag. It's just a long flag attached to a pole. And these you just get to wave around and do circles, and you can do a little bit more figure 8s. It chases a little bit. This one is also a little bit safer. This is smaller because if you get hit with this piece of silk, it's not going to hurt like it will hurt when you hit someone with the stick. Trust me, it's much nicer. So you can flip it around, you can do figure 8s, you can do circles. If you have to go up over your head, you can do that. Arm gets tired, go with the other one. And this is also a good one for little kids to use. A little bit smaller flag, a little bit lighter. And again, it's those figure 8s, it's both hands up worshiping, and see how that creates a really nice banner over your head without a lot of energy. When you're going around. These are all ways that you can use this flag without taking up a very large amount of space. If you're at home and your ceilings are lower like most houses are, you can do this flag in front of you. Every motion you do up, you can also do in front, or you can do down, you can do circle in front of you. All of these ideas, you can also keep it much closer over top of your head instead of extending your arm all the way up. And again, the closer you keep your hand and arm, the less weight and energy you have to use to move a flag. Okay. Here's a true spinner flag. It has this spins on the end, And this one has a little bit longer tail, so as with everything, there is practice that needs to be taken into account. When you first start waving a flag, you may not be able to get this to do this, or you may not make it look as pretty as other people do it, but everything takes practice, and as you do it, you will get more proficient at it. This one, of course, is a big streamer. You can do all sorts of fun tricks with it. The faster you go with it, the quicker it goes. And this is also a place where moving with the music and moving with the tempo. If you're doing a very slow, worshipful, graceful song and you're doing this all over and stuff, that's not helping other people's worship. They're going to be going, what's wrong with the person? But a slow, beautiful song is big sweeping motion around. And if you're doing Roni, 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 we can go fast as the song is moving really fast. That's okay. And so match your movements. Sometimes I match flags with different songs because some flags are just able to move faster than other flags. So this is a long streamer type flag, and those are quite fun. The thing you have to be careful about is you don't strangle somebody with this, where you get it wrapped around your body or your neck. Again, this won't hurt if you hit somebody, but that's the goal, is to not hit someone. And the last set of flags is my personal favorite. I love the wing flags, and many flags have a long pole that you hang onto with a large banner on top, and those are very good to do if you got your going up in the air, going across your body. Those can become very heavy very quickly sometimes. These are a little bit smaller. The tails are lighter, and you can just do easy, simple motions. I've got my flags up in the air. I can just simply wave it back and forth. Got my rainbow going, or you can scoop it in a big figure 8 in front of you, or if you have a lot of people around you, you just do a little bit smaller figure 8. And at this point, I would also like to address the idea of how to hang on to a flag. If you have a death grip on that flag, your hand and your forearm are going to very quickly tire. So it's like when you shake someone's hand, you put your hand out to shake their hand, you're going to shake your flag's hand, and you hang on to it, and you let it be loose. Actually, I only have 2 pressure points on my flag, and it just rocks between my fingers and rests in there, and I can move my wrist, and I can move it back and forth, things like this. The heavier your flag is, and the bigger your flag is, the more you would need to hang on to it like this, because you got 2 points, and you can fly back and forth. Or you can stick it into your middle, brace it, and then move it this way. And that is also a way to take off that pressure from your arms and the weight of the flag. Bring it down. Actually, to stand at attention with a flag, you would take the flag, put it into your middle, your other hand comes out and you're holding it. And that is a very beautiful way to present a flag. With flags, there are many ways to move them, and there are many ways to worship our Heavenly Father. And some people will love the beautiful slow songs where they can just move a flag and have it go up and worship the King. And other people will love to just go fast and whip them around. Either way, however you worship the King, the goal is to worship the King. The focus is to be on Him and bringing Him glory and honor as you joyfully, worshipfully enter into this time of worship. And that's one thing I want to leave you with, is to make sure that the focus in your heart is to give Him glory and honor in whatever way you worship, whether it be with the singing, with the dancing, or with the flags. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it blesses you and encourages you to enter into worship to our Heavenly Father. Thank you.